Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
This is a live look-in at Taj Lounge 973 in beautiful Newark, New Jersey. This is Game Day Live. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio virtual studios. I see Johnny Sack giving us the thumbs up. He's probably whacking down some catfish somewhere at Taj Lounge 973 as the Devils are going to take on Lou Lamoriello's New York Islanders. The Devils, well, they've given up, 15 goals in the last 2 games, lost in heartbreaking fashion. We'll go back to Taj very soon, but Shorts Guy, you are filling in for Vinny Parisi. I'm your host, Sam Wu, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Okay, I told you during our pre-show meeting, our production meeting, let's not have a bitch fest about the ownership group.
That is
but
true.
Now I've changed
that
my
is true.
mind. Now I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind in about 5 minutes. This is unacceptable. I said this on the Woo Report earlier today. This is unacceptable. We're having a quadruple header of podcasts today. Woo Report, Game Day Live, Devils After Dark, and the 9 p.m. Sunday edition of the Let's Go Devils podcast. And all we have to talk about as of now is how the Devils lost or gave up 15 goals in the last 2 games, blew another lead yesterday, 4-goal lead going into the third period. Shorts Guy, it's a lot of it's defense and a lot of it's goalies. Tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah, the game against Boston, you can chalk that up to just being a terrible all-around game, because although it looked pretty good in the beginning, it really quickly went downhill when it became 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7. Like I'm gonna be honest, I turned it off eventually. But yesterday, there's no excuse for what happened yesterday. Going into the third with a 4-goal lead, you should be able to somehow manage that to get that victory.
Is that a cat?
Yeah, well, it's Tread, like on our normal Monday night.
Well, they do have the catfish at Taj Lounge 973. Just wanted to point that out. Maybe there's some symbolism there.
There might be. Here, let me get her down real quick. There's really no excuse. There's really no excuse for losing a 4-goal lead like that. You should be able to see that game out, and this is the Jekyll and Hyde nature of this team. They were able to put a 6 spot on the Panthers, who, may not be the best defensive team, but they do have Bobrovsky in net, and they were able to chase him from the net and have Spencer Knight come in. But we have to remember that the Hamburglar hasn't played in I don't know how long. So it's his first game back. So, of course, he may be a little rusty, but I don't know if there's really there really should be no excuse for losing a 4-goal lead.
Well, you know what? The Hamburglar had a 6-2 lead going into the third period. I think a lot of these excuses are starting to become obsolete right now. We can make as many excuses why the Devils lost yesterday, when they lost against the Bruins, but the bottom line is there is no commitment to defense. There is none. It's all fun and gun. It's all one style, very aggressive offensive style, very exciting, looks good on paper, but we know that Devils fans want playoffs and they want championships. They want a Stanley Cup. And you're going to have to sacrifice some of that because it's in the NHL, I believe. You can't put your foot to the pedal all 60 minutes. You have to strategize. I think these guys are just really, they're working hard. They're skating, but at the same time, I think I don't know if it's a coaching strategy standpoint or are the players that lackadaisical where it's Jekyll and Hyde? One period they play well, the next period they play like a peewee team. Like I don't know. I really don't know. And it's starting to fall on the management and coaching. at this point.
And I think that's really one of the biggest mysteries of this team, because a good team will hold that lead that they had yesterday and bring home all 2 points.
Yep.
A great team will do what Florida did and find a way to make a comeback.
Florida didn't make any excuses.
No, there was no excuse. You know what they did? Florida changed their goaltender and they said, "Let's go." And now they are a high-powered offense. Let's not forget that too. But they made no excuses for being down by 4 goals going into the third, and they found a way.
Yep.
We almost we snatched defeat from the jaws of victory yesterday. That's what the Devils did. A game like yesterday is inexcusable. Again, the Boston game, you can say, hey, it was just a bad game overall, and everyone's to blame. Everyone had the bad game together. Whatever, you move on. But blowing a lead like yesterday, that to me is worse than the Boston debacle. Because
so you're saying blowing a lead is worse.
Blowing a 4-goal lead is worse? Yes.
You can make an argument. I'm not saying I'm making this argument, but you can make the argument, well, at least they could score 6 goals. Versus some years they couldn't even score. They couldn't score a goal, perhaps.
You can absolutely make that argument.
But I will say, though, I wonder what everybody's eating at Taj. Sorry, and drinking at Taj.
That's always your main concern is food.
Yeah, food and I go hand in hand. I love food.
I'll
admit it.
I know.
Yeah.
For as long as I've known you, Sam, there's been some kind of classic food item that goes hand in hand with you.
Yeah, pizza, wings, wingies, catfish at Taj Lounge 973, lobster tails at Taj Lounge 973. And but I wish they could do something with that camera angle right now. It's just pointing up.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, see, this is the problem. It's like you can't automate anything. Why? Because people always touch with your equipment. Not saying that they did it on purpose. Anyway. All right. So, Shorts guy, we are a pet-friendly podcast.
I know we are.
you can pull a little Steve. I don't care. I mean, I could show people my goldfish back here. Let's see if take a tour of the fish tank back here. You see that? Yeah, you see that's the fish tank. See, people at Taj Lounge 973 can see where they catch some of their food. No, I'm just kidding. That's my fish tank right there. See, Johnny Sack's already marking me down. Hopefully I'm on Johnny Sack's good side. That's Johnny Sack from Sopranos. He's over there at Taj Lounge 973 having a beer. They're having a bucket of beers. They got drafts, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's enough about
our pets.
Yeah, see, now everybody gets a tour of the Bunker Studios. They even got the Clorox wipes back there. You never know. You just got to have to sanitize the board. But all right, so getting back to the game. Lose Islanders, they want a playoff spot. Earlier in the season, they got off to a rough start.
Big time.
The road Warriors in the beginning, it kind of reminded me of Devils 2007 when they moved in Prudential Center, and then that delayed start.
Yeah.
And then it took a little while to get used to the digs, the home.
Mm-hmm.
But now they shut out the Rangers the other night. I noticed Kelly was going to the games, according to Facebook. And looks like things are looking up and up for the Islanders. And Lou and the guys over there across the river need this game, and they want to show something in front of the New Jersey fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they still have a big hill to climb. They're 13 points out of that final playoff, that final wild card spot. So, they've got a big hill to climb at the very end of the season. So that they're looking at a game like today against us and what we did the last 2 games and they are assuming that today can be a victory and get them that 2 points closer to the 13 they need to make
and
the
two
playoffs.
solid points too that they need. They need solid points.
Yeah, and they do.
This because to give them a little bit of that advantage of tiebreakers in the end. Because 13 points is essentially about 7 games minimum.
Essentially, yeah.
So
winning
you got to win
these
these games
and having others lose games. So they're it's a position I wish that we were in, although we are not.
Yeah. I mean, how many points are the Devils at? I know they got eliminated by Boston, but
jeez,
Andy
30.
on
30.
The Devils are 30 points behind.
Yeah.
The last wild. All right.
Last
so
wild
think
card
about
is 84.
This.
We have 54.
Okay, so think about this. The Devils have blown, an estimated 23 leads this season. All right. Make it 24 just to even it up. Or 22. Let's make it 22. Say if 11 of those games they actually won. Just half instead of blowing it. Because they had the commitment to defense. 22 points. The Devils would be what? 8 points out of the wild card spot?
22 points, 74, 76. Yeah, we would be ahead of the Islanders. We would be,
So
we would be pushing for that final one.
So you're telling me the Devils were actually in it, but not really. Because they did have leads. It's not like they were getting blown out every night. They just blew
Occasionally
the lead.
we were, but yeah. This
so
has been
it all comes down
a systemic problem with the team, though, of recent years. We've been very good at blowing leads.
Yeah, and you know what? And I don't know if people agree. By the way, Andy A. of YouTube Live says hi. Ramona Rice says, "Let's go Devils" in the Facebook Live. But to me, that's a lack of discipline. It's a young team that's growing. You figure by now that they be over it. They don't have the killer instinct. And I hate to be grotesque, and it may sound gross, but they need to learn how to go for the jugular, figuratively speaking, when putting teams away. They don't have that. And I think that's the result of the analytics world. That's the results of the analytics world because they're looking at player production, player numbers, but does a team concept, can they put teams away? Can they do the knockout punch? Can they play well defensively? And it just seems like when the teams are desperate on the other side, the Devils are like Swiss cheese.
And we fold.
Yep.
I mean, because it was what, 2 goals in the last minute and a half yesterday for the Panthers to tie it up? Something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got to clamp down. With 2 minutes left, you have to clamp down with a 2-goal lead. That should be a pretty secure lead where you should, maybe you'll give up one when you're up a man, but you also have an empty net that you could be firing down on. Now you got to be careful because it's an automatic icing, but it's yesterday with a 4-goal lead going into the third, that should have been just finishing it off. And I don't know what it is. It's there's something missing there. There's something missing, whether it's in with the culture. I don't know. I don't have that answer. But there's something that they have to change between now and next season. And I'm going to say that with the success of Utica right now, we're not going to see that mass call up for tryouts. This last month is going to be the current players on the team. It's their tryout to be here next season.
Yeah. Yeah. And Andre Johnson, also known as Andreas Janssen, to many fans, 1 goal, 1 assist. I mean, he's been a little bit inconsistent this season, but he comes with a good cap number next year, which makes him possibly a commodity to be traded. I don't know. But, offensively, I don't think you and I or anybody has issues with this team. The issues with the
No.
team, the issues with the team really comes, can they close out games and can
It's
they
all defensive.
close it? Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
all
mean,
defensive.
it kind of reminds me of the New York Mets. They would have the lead and Edwin Diaz would blow it. Remember that one year? Year and
The
a
Mets
half?
bullpen has always been an issue.
Yeah. And then you look at the great Yankees teams. As much as I hate the Yankees, and they have Mariano Rivera closing. He was ultra reliable,
He
and
was shut
because he
down.
went for the jugular, he knew how to close it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a shutdown type of pitcher.
And he was simply put simple. He had one pitch.
Mm-hmm.
One pitch, and that was the cutter. And that's all he did. He simplified his game. He did what he was told, and he executed. And that's what the Devils kind of need that mindset right now. Jack Hughes putting up big numbers. Had he not gotten injured earlier in the season, he could be pushing 100 points this season, or around that, or at least in the in the conversation of that. Nico Hischier is looking to get career highs in points while being the captain of the team. But I'm sure he's kind of tired of making excuses at press conference. Remember when he dropped the F-bomb a few weeks ago or about a month ago? You know that his heart is into it. And yeah, as fans, we respect that. But man, it was hard yesterday. The crowd was stunned yesterday. Like, no one knew what to do.
How could you not be? How could you? And I was listening to the game on the radio because I had to work during the day. And
so was I. I was listening to Chico. That's what Chico said.
Yeah, I was listening. I was listening to Matt and Chico, and they were both saying like there were a lot of kids in the stands yesterday. So you had a lot of people there. The referees were there. Yesterday was a great game if you want to bring people in to fall in love with it offensively. We just couldn't seal the deal. And it sounded like the crowd was going really well. I mean, we're up again. We're up 6-2. It should be an open and shut case at that point, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's problems to be figured out.
And the process here, I think, needs to be altered. Right now, they have a hockey guy as GM, Tom Fitzgerald. Mm-hmm. A lot of the Devils, the new Devils, with this ownership group, it's all analytics based. It's all numbers, a lot of it. And we're reaping the repercussions of not having that balance of evaluating hockey talent and basing everything on those numbers. And again, I probably would get crap by a lot of people on social media this, but a lot of times I read these blogs and articles, they talk about, blah, 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 his, FH24 number was da, 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 da. It's like, but that doesn't solve the problem. All you're doing is just putting a number on it. What can you get the Devils to do to play well in their defensive zone? You and I both play hockey. You can look on the video. Guys are out of position, and when they are, there's no help on the blind side. Usually a guy is the opposing player is sitting right in front of the crease in the slot area, that high danger area that everybody talks about. You have to play well collectively as a team. And also you got to put your physical presence on it. Like, take the body, take him out of the play. Legally speaking, I'm not talking about cheap shots, but legally speaking, tie the player up without getting a penalty.
Just tie up a stick.
Yeah,
basic hockey. Tie up a stick, get in between the offensive player and your net. These are all basic hockey skills.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's got to be some analytic though that says the Devils' inability to get a lead, or excuse me, to win a game with a lead.
Yeah. And
I'm
know
probably
what, Shorts
explaining that
guy?
poorly, but.
Well, you know what? I wish we had video. We can use like the MSG footage. I know a lot of people rip it off. I just don't want to get in trouble with intellectual property
Oh,
rights.
yeah.
But I wish I could just like take an MSG video of what the Devils are
Break
doing
it
wrong
down.
defensively and just like, yeah, break it down and then send it over to the team for their chalk talk and be like, look, you can't be leaving guys in front of the crease like that. What are you doing? Why do we have 2 defensemen and 1 centerman behind the net? You know what I mean? That's what happens a lot.
And I guarantee that they notice it. So now you have to start asking the question: Has the coaching staff lost the room? Is the message now just falling on deaf ears?
It could be as well. Not so much of that, but act of desperation to try to make something happen, making something out of nothing. If you notice, Jack Hughes has kind of cleaned up his game when I called him Mr. Turnover. Not saying that he listens to this fine programming, but I call him Mr. Turnover because I felt that if he's going to be an elite player in the team, he can't be just a one-dimensional player. He needs to be a two-way player. Sidney Crosby had his woes early on in his career, but he shored up his game, tremendously. And sometimes you got to sacrifice a little bit of your offense to do that. Not always try to make something out of nothing. The no look blind pass.
They frustrate the heck out of me.
Or the home run passes. It's okay to stretch the ice, but you can't be doing it constantly because you're literally telegraphing the puck.
Yeah, you become predictable.
Yeah, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with short, crisp, accurate breakout passes to get the momentum through the neutral zone. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with dumping the puck in. Get a change. Get some fresh legs out there. This is basic hockey. I mean, this is what I grew up with. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hockey 101.
Yeah, I mean, there was one instance, I believe it was like, I forgot who were caught on the ice. I think they were on there for 3 minutes because they couldn't get out of their zone.
In beer league, that's acceptable, but in the NHL, you should be off in 45 seconds max, 30 seconds to 45. If you're on a penalty kill, that's a different story. You're getting caught in your zone, but 5-on-5, you shouldn't be stuck in your zone for 3 minutes. Like that's just it's unacceptable. There's a lot of things that got to be that have to be fixed, and I really do hope that they address that over the course of the summer.
Are those wings he's eating? I don't know.
Might be.
I don't know. I know Matt Junio is going to be at this game. Matt Junio is going to be at this game. He won the tickets. JCB Architectural on Devils After Dark. Yeah, they are wings. Now I'm getting myself hungry. And then you know what T, the manager, is going to say? She's going to say, look, you could have just came and we would have given you wings. But you decided to stay at home.
I know.
In the bunker studio. Anyway. Well, enough about that. All right, so we're coming up very soon. Predictions. What are your predictions, Shorts Guy?
For today, this is with I feel like it's going to go.
You can pick them losing because I'll tell you my prediction. It's going to be 8-4 Islanders.
Oh man, I hope not. This is one of those heart-head things where you hate to pick them to lose, but with the way that they've been playing, that it's going to be a tough one. I'm still going to try to remain positive. We are going on a back-to-back. I'm assuming we'll see Nico Dawes back in net. I'll say 5-3 Devils.
Okay. I rescind my prediction, but I still think it's going to be like 4-2 Islanders. Pavel Zacha returns to the lineup today.
Okay,
Oh, nice
that's a good thing.
timing. I guess you're not getting traded. And Miles Wood remains out. Also, Lindy Ruff said, this is an obvious quote, said in the pregame conference, we have to focus on what we did well for that first 48 minutes yesterday. Stay focused. That should be the theme. That should be the theme. Focus.
Yeah, focus on shutting down the game. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Simple defensive hockey. If you get the opportunity, go for it. If not, you focus on playing defensive, and you just shut down a game and you get the victory. That's what they got to do.
Yep.
Because the offense is there. The offense is there. We just got to get.
Which makes it very interesting.
Shutdown part.
Which
makes it even more frustrating too. Makes it more frustrating as well.
It's like, wow, this team. It's just like Jack Hughes. He's cut down his turnovers quite a bit in the last month. But it's just like with the Devils. If they could just cut down on the crap in the defensive zone, they're going to be winning half of these games that they're blowing. It's already a fact right now. So, let's see. Andy A says, I think New Jersey could have won if Nico was in net yesterday. I agree, but this is a evaluation period. Who cares about winning or losing? I want to see how the team reacts in situations right now with real live NHL games in the next month. Because what's the point of winning at this point? But you want to have that mindset of win all games, which they do. They're not tanking. They're not tanking.
No, they're absolutely not.
No. A new defensive coach, maybe Bryce Salvador, bring up Sergei Brylin, offensive coach type. Look, I'd rather have Bryce stay at MSG, not because he can't do the job. It's just strictly because I love his work there.
He is good, yeah.
Sergei Brylin may not be a bad guy.
No.
At least for special teams.
And we'll see, because Utica's playing well. So they're doing something right down there, which hopefully is going to be good for us in the future. Those guys are learning to win. Those guys are going to go through a playoff push. And I really hope that we send some of our two-way players down for some of that playoff experience and that high-pressure situations. I would love to see all of our young guys. And I know some of them don't have the contracts to do it. I'd love to see as many of our young guys that go down for that playoff push in Utica just to learn and be in high-pressure situations, because we haven't been in it in a while. That would be valuable in the long run.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to go to that camera angle. Short Scat, well, thank you for your time. It was fun.
Yeah, not a problem. Always
fun. Just remember, Devils After Dark after the game. You never know. We could be doing another ticket giveaway. You never know. I'm not going to tell you if we are or not. That's the tease.
Because you win things when you watch and listen to Game Day Live, Let's Go Devils podcast, Devils After Dark.
Yeah.
You always have a chance to win.
So there's no excuse from fans, I can't afford to go to the games. No, that's not true. That is not true. Because we help the poor Devils fans out the best we can. We help the poor Devils fans because we are poor Devils fans. So, all right, let's wrap it up here. So we have our predictions. Good. Game Day Live, also Devils. Let's Go Devils podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern edition, Sunday edition, on tonight. Going to recap the weekend that was. Could they redeem themselves tonight, or is this the weekend of hell? Losing 3 out of 4 games and giving up, 25 goals in the process.
I hope not.
I hope not. Yeah, because I'm losing faith in this team. I haven't lost faith in Lindy Ruff yet. I don't know why. Maybe checks in the mail. I don't know. And well, Till next time, let's go Devils.